Alright, gather survivors from abandoned city. Deliver survivors to extraction point.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the episode 7 strategic analysis. Welcome, boys and girls and men and women, all ages, who just enjoy gaming, want to have some fun. So let me go over this here particular one. This is a bit lengthy, but I think in the end, hopefully you'll get some value out of the strategic analysis portion. Okay, so in this one, your goal is to rescue the VIPs. There's one you have to get, and then a couple of optionals if you can get out to them. In this case, we're being shown where we have to get to, and we got to start all the way over here. Definitely doesn't make for an easy time, especially considering you can't see anything. This particular mission also has Lost, which you'll see shortly. So you can see the VIP there, you see them over there. Given that there was not a countdown timer, I definitely kind of looked around, took my time, which is probably why this episode ended up being maybe even 10 minutes longer than it had to be. But with that said, Dragonova being in shadow makes an excellent scout, especially if you have one of your sharpshooters that's been trained up as a sniper. See, so in this case, move forward with her, no problem, able to see these two. Now, one of her abilities that you can upgrade for or select as you move along is basically where if she sees something, then you'll always see it. That in combination with a sharpshooter trained sniper can be very handy because basically if you can keep her in concealment in shadow, you can run around, find somebody, and have them shot from a long way away with squad sight. So in this case, I'm trying to figure out, okay, I know I've got these two guys here. It's a matter of where do I go, because I know the VIP is basically just up slightly to the right, and that certainly makes it challenging knowing, okay, I've got at least these two here. So you can see I'm kind of spreading out, and it's like, and there's Lost over there. So, but yeah, we've got one Viper here, we've got one mech, and of course with that mech, the ability to shoot, like a better term, it's kind of like our Grenadier's grenade launcher. He can pop a couple grenades, do some serious damage if you're not careful about how you space your people out. So in this case, I decide, got kind of some space, might be able to hit 2, but shouldn't be able to hit 3. A little tight, but then again, we haven't been seen. If we were actively engaged with the mech, I would definitely not have my people that close. Here, a little concerned there might be something off that way, but I figure, I can get out wide enough and hopefully not have any sudden reveals. Of course, that boat, also concerned, okay. And then there's another potential pickup. Again, you've always got to get that VIP, the one with the circle around it, but in a case like this, if you can pick up 1 or 2 additional soldiers for free, never hurts to do. Like I said, in this one I'm definitely taking my time trying to look around, figure out what's a good solid position. Don't want to get up too close too fast and suddenly be revealed. Don't want to run into a pack of Lost. So this one's definitely challenging from the aspect of making darn sure that you try to get yourself into a very good ambush opportunity. And so for me, that was definitely high of mind at this point. So, see, now here, these two are going to walk all the way off over here and actually disappear from your sight. If Dragonova had that certain upgrade that basically allowed her, once she sees someone, you always see them, then I would at least always have known where they were. So that's definitely something I need to consider going forward next time I get the opportunity to pick a new skill for Dragonova. That's definitely something I need to think about. It would have worked out very nicely in this particular situation. Because here I don't know exactly where they've gone, but I feel, at least because they're in that kind of container, should be able to have limited lines of sight. So again, taking advantage of her shadow, meaning a very small detection radius. I'm able to get a lot closer, especially to the Lost. Shouldn't anger them. But at the same time, I have to be very concerned about where those other two are going to come back into my vision. So I felt moving her off to the right was probably a smart idea. At this point, also looking for where I can move other people. Trying to set up the best possible defensive positions, knowing that there's going to be a ton of enemies on this one between the Advent and the Lost. You're going to be shooting a lot. Also, one thing to keep in mind here is you've got a bonded pair. So if you can keep those particular soldiers not too far apart, they seem to like being kind of within easy reach of each other. So you definitely just got to be careful of that. Right here, my technical has an upgraded weapon, which will come in handy later. One of the reasons I've actually considered playing whole campaigns where I focus on just one class. I figure at the very least it could be interesting trying to just do a single sets of upgrades instead of trying to upgrade everybody's weaponry. In this case, I'm very curious how they haven't managed to to activate any Lost yet, and all of a sudden here these guys like, ooh, stuff. Looks like a bunch of people trying to shop at Black Friday on Christmas. Deals over here. So fortunately, while they're aware of the Lost and the Lost are aware of them, neither group is aware of me, which is certainly how I like to keep it as long as possible. Obviously, always nice if if Lost can do a little damage on your other opponents. Lord knows they can certainly do damage to the Lost. So if they can put a little hurting on the Advent, that's always nice. Here could go for the shot, but the problem is I don't know that I'd be able to take him down, and I'm not in good ambush position at this point, I don't think. So this is more just me sort of exploring my options, seeing if it makes sense to go for that at this point. As you can see, because of where he's at, long detection radius. So after all, they can reach out with their tongues and pull you in from, seems dang near across the map. But, so at this point, because he's now very active and also moved back up forward, kind of limits where I can go. So I'm stuck trying to figure out, okay, where can I move people now? Seeing as I'm still not concealed, don't want to do so inadvertently for sure. Definitely want to make sure if I'm going to be unconcealed, then I want to make sure it's on my terms. In this case, being as my sharpshooter can enjoy the height advantage, plus just being able to shoot long distance in the first place, figured go ahead and move him back a little bit. Just really trying to play this one as smart as I can, as cautiously as I could, because once the Lost are aware that I'm there, all of a sudden things get very ugly. So in this case, just kind of figured I'd wait and almost kind of see what happened with Advent and the Lost.
So he's gonna bind.
And she's like, "Nope, don't like you whacking on me."
Shoot that one.
And then this is just brutal. Complete message, but doesn't hurt my feelings. Fortunately, the bind does not kill off that particular Lost.
Can you even do damage to the thing?
And that's definitely a question of, can the Lost even do damage against a mech with 2 armor? I guess it really comes down to, are they even capable of hitting for more than 2? Obviously, they can beat up on a Viper, no problem, but I just don't know that they have the ability to do enough damage on a armored mechanized unit to even be an issue for the unit. So I guess that's something I'll have to watch for going forward, but at least I guess I would say a standard Lost probably does not have that kind of capacity. Now maybe some of those ones with 5 and 6 health and much longer speed. Don't recall quite what they call them at this point, but basically just the angrier versions, the Lost Karens, if you will, who want to speak to the Advent manager. In this case, I figured it was probably a good idea to try to get Dragonova high, not only for the ability to view, but also, hopefully kind of keeping her out of harm's way of the Lost. At least that was the idea. And now she can see a whole bunch of other things. So it did give me good vision, especially given her her small detection radius while she's in shadow. So I thought from that perspective it was worth it. Later on, maybe I don't think so much. But definitely trying to take a look and make sure that when I do go loud, when I do break this concealment, that I've got the best possible opportunity to do maximum damage with my ambush. And hopefully not be too close to any loss to suddenly be swarmed. You know, a mission like this where you've got to take care of the advent, but you also have to make sure you don't get surrounded and have 3 or 4 lost, each do 2 damage to you, and all of a sudden your dude is toast. Or dudette, as the case may be. You know, here still trying to be very conservative. Got to be concerned about, you know, will the mech be able to see me? Because the problem is he can definitely launch some grenades up there, ruin my whole day. So I definitely didn't want to, I guess, basically be accidentally seen by the mech if he starts walking forward to assist that Viper with those lost. So, you know, again, taking advantage of the sighting cues, and just based upon the fact that that looks like it's the side of a container, so it should be all right up there. I think I decided to go ahead and move on up. You know, again, hoping there's nothing around the corner is a bit risky, but at the same time, you know, it is a guy with a shotgun. Should be able to do some serious damage to any lost that are hanging out by him. And a rebind, and oh, that one's dead. Not sure why I lost visual on that. That might have been just a game glitch. Point blank to the head. Oh man, just the humanity of that one. And then they also get the headshot mechanic. So that is definitely something to watch out for. Is if Advent gets to do a bunch of headshots and then still go shoot at you because they spot you while shooting other things. Definitely something to be concerned with. Yeah, again here, definitely looking for what's my best option. I know that basically the time is coming that I'm going to have to go ahead and engage. But at the same time, you know, do the best I can to not do that any sooner than necessary.
I think I'm just going to have to go.
But then again, at the same time, being as there are lost here, you can't just sit there and hang around all day. You know, you're going to have to just make your best shot. Hope you can do something. You know, here I got plus 20 on the height advantage. You know, easy 104%, or in this case, you know, rounds it down to 100. But, you know, it's definitely going to hit. He does 4 to 6. So it's just a matter of, with the armor, am I going to do 4, in which case he's got 2 left, or am I going to do 6 and actually take it down? Always things you have to consider in this case. But, you know, just just trying to figure things out and do your best. So in this case, I felt comfortable moving up here behind the little crate. Figured it should give me good concealment.
Good. So we overwatch that.
Have to really consider if you really want to blow up the truck and, you know, have 24 lost show up on you. Definitely an area of concern unless you are just absolutely ready to go wild. So, yeah, because in this case, you're going to definitely do damage to the mech. But, you know, that's going to be a big explosion. You probably would surprise me if you had 15, 20 lost show up as a result of that. So, I think in the end, I felt maybe a little more cautious. Might be the proper route here. But at the same time, you know, in conceal, 50% chance. I've got a bunch of people ready to shoot at other things where necessary. So I figured that got a great chance of taking that one out. Hit for the crit, which was awesome, and managed to not get revealed, which was even more awesome. So basically, the mech has no clue what just happened to that Viper. I guess he figured it must have gotten too damaged by the loss and expired. So that didn't hurt my feelings too much. But yeah, I figured it's about time to go wild, because this point should hopefully do at least 2, if not 4. As we float in space. See, they're hit for 5. So right in between, managed to get 3 damage after the 2 armor. You know, being able to shred is very important, but the problem is that's usually done with with either a grenadier with a shred on the weapon or with explosives. And the problem is with explosives, that brings more lost. And if your people can't shoot them worth a damn, that's even more of a problem. That poor thing. Ugh. But yeah, because you got to worry, these little suckers can run a long way.
Here comes the swarm.
And it doesn't matter if they fall down; they keep getting back up. They're very very tenacious that way. Hello. I do enjoy playing this game, that's for sure, though. So in this case, again, she only do 3 to 4, no chance to crit. So you're really looking at probably doing 1 damage, which is not particularly helpful. But in the meantime, see here, the problem is I don't know that the headshot mechanic works with the pistol. For some reason, I didn't think it did, so I figured probably best just to use the main weapon, especially on some of these larger ones. But there again, in the meantime, makes most sense to take down the thing that can lob grenades at me. Again, he hit for 5, right in the middle of the 4 to 6, but he isn't toast yet. And whereas his weapon does a nice 5 to 7 damage, so even a min roll completely takes that one out, just like so. Yep. He did min roll, in this case a 5, but that was more than enough. Alright, so it's like, okay, well, there's them. Time to start getting in better position and get ready to do some stuff.
Oh, happened anyway.
See, and that even activated them.
Why are you looking at me?
Yes, I have to wonder, it's like, why don't you turn around and look at the things right next to you? Because unfortunately, the lost are not your allies. The enemy of your enemy may not be your friend in this case. Because granted, they'll whack on anybody, but doesn't mean they're necessarily going to just whack on them while you're staying from afar. So, got a nice 5 to 7. Again, it definitely helps when you can upgrade your weaponry, do some more damage, take things down to 1 or 2 shots versus 3 or 4.
Okay.
And again, the problem is her vector rifle is very standard. Somehow managed to not be revealed. That was fantastic. But in the meantime, got a whole lot of loss to worry about now. Unfortunately, that's all she can see. But, same time, go ahead and do what you got to do. In this case, trying to decide, should I try the pistol shot? Should I try the... So, yeah, I guess with headshot, I think the pistol does work. So, yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'm not recalling off the top of my head, but then again, this is where those free reloads come in very handy. And if you'll look at the icon there on her gun, you see the green there on the clip, and so for her, free reload, heck yeah. And so now, but then again, also expanded magazine would be very handy here. Because if she could shoot 4 or 5 and then reload for free, well, then she can take down 10 things in a hurry. So definitely something to consider when you're choosing your weapon mods for your sharpshooters. Is more power, as it were. But yeah, free reloads, bigger magazines, definitely handy. Less so an issue on the expanded magazine on something like this. With your shotgun, we've already got 4. In this case, all about that laser sight. Getting that extra aim in. Heck yeah. So, here comes the purifier going, egad. He actually does a good job here of setting several of these on fire, which actually worked out in our favor. But at the same time, you've also got something that can light your guys on fire, which is not particularly helpful. And all we know is that lost are moving places, and we don't know where. And of course, this one comes and spots Dragonova. And of course, she misses. Yeah, and that's the thing. It seemed like a really fantastic position to have Dragonova in. But at the same time, if she's too close to the Lost and gets nailed, then that doesn't exactly help you out long term.
Reload up, girl. There you go.
But, you know, again, here she's got the height advantage, so at least from an aim perspective, she should be doing pretty well. Unfortunately, even Overwatch didn't do me a great deal of good there, so...
79, take him out.
You know, fortunately, your people have to hit. You know, a lack of a proper proper damaging does not do you any good.
Use that squad sight. Oh dear. But yeah.
So here we're hoping we'll get the max roll.
Take that guy down. Come on.
And we did with crit. Thank you very much. But then again, he could have been just injured and survived.
Fantastic.
So definitely want to keep moving our guys up with the better weaponry. In this case, I got 2 right there with very good weaponry.
Oh, really?
But you still have to hit. You know, obviously with Lost and the headshot, you know, kill mechanic that I currently have, it's just a matter of actually being able to hit, and then you can take them down. You know, but if you fail to even hit, then that does you absolutely no good. In this case, I've taken out those 2, so I think it's probably safe to step up here with my Ranger and pick up whatever has been dropped. And kind of keeping myself back a little bit. Expanded magazine. See? Fantastic. Again, super helpful on your sharpshooters whose standard magazine is only 3. You got several of them burning, which is a good thing, except for the fact that they're all coming up the stairs.
Come on, Dragon Over Girl. What?
And she misses her shot, despite having the height advantage. You know, that's definitely very concerning at times. And then, of course, here comes more Lost. Yeah, just popping up like daisies.
Alright, we gotta start making some hits here, people.
Because, good lord, there's probably 8, 9 Lost in the area.
Alright, so there's another one of our people.
If not even more. What's nice is we do get we did get to see where the other Viper and Mech are. So, always pay attention while you're gaming. See, they're moving out. And, you know, it really begs the question, should I have backed Dragon Nova up instead of having her basically, for lack of a better term, get surrounded by this ever-increasing horde of Lost? Because, yeah, while some are burning, and will probably get taken out by the burn, doesn't mean they can't throw a swipe or 2 at your people and do some damage in the meantime. No! Fortunately, Dragon Nova's stout, but, you know, that's 2 damage, and there's a whole nother Lost standing right there in front of her. At this point, I think I felt it was probably a good idea, yay, free reload, to go ahead and try to see if I can't clear out those that are around her. Because barring that, probably definitely time to get her the heck on out of there. Because between those 2 Lost Dashers, if both of them were to hit her, she'd be dead. So I think in the end, you know, take the best shot you can, but I don't want to leave someone in a really poor position to, quite frankly, just get beat to death by these Lost. I just don't feel that's smart strategy at all. Yeah, he was too far away to be particularly useful. So this one, you know, came and walked right up on me. So there we go. And then, you know, thanks to the headshot mechanic, you're really hoping to string a couple together, at least to the extent of your ammo. In this case, even though Gremlin can help to 4, I did not think it was wise to leave her with just the 3 health. Because assuming for some reason I didn't decide to move her and she gets whacked on twice for 2 points each, at least she could survive. I felt that pretty important at that point. So I decided, you know, let's go ahead and do that. Plus he was kind of far away, probably didn't have very good shots. So I know I got a couple of Advent over on the boat. So I don't want to move this guy up too far. But at the same time, I want to improve his shots if all possible. In this case, I decided let's just go ahead and get around to the high cover and see if I can't do a little something in the meantime. There was one good shot. Now we're at 70% and missed. A big fat whiff. Here again, I've got a grenade, but don't know that I want to use it. With Dragonova, it's really a matter of, okay, do I just go ahead and retreat her?
Yeah.
And seeing as I found some nice high cover all the way back here, it's like, let's just get her out of harm's way.
About that in a minute, 'cause good Lord, we are just
Yep.
under attack right now.
And just get her out moved. So there we go. Now she's got a little more support around her, so that hopefully she won't get whacked on by more Lost. I guess I could have shot, tried to shoot both of these with Elizabeth Davis first. But then again, as we've seen, they can come up from down there and get all the way to her. And seeing as she missed anyway, didn't do me much good. So I felt in the end that was probably the best maneuver, is to get her out of there.
Yeah, at least some of these are getting taken out by the burning.
Got a bunch of these that are burning, thanks to that purifier. So fortunately for me, that's decreasing some of the numbers.
Okay.
But there's 4 right here that I can see, and it's not like they suddenly run out of Lost. I guess you got to look at it kind of like The Walking Dead, where you've got literally 1 million people in a city. Probably not quite to that extent here at this point, but definitely a concern. Just in that, as far as I know, this game will keep churning Lost at you until until the cows come home. So, a Rehill Dragonova, who's definitely taken a bit of a beating, but apparently still shooting well. So that helps us tremendously. Gets her reload on. Kapow! All right. Whew. And then again, every time Between the Eyes pops up, that's because that damage would not have killed them, but you're getting the kill anyway because of the perk. But at this point, I gotta figure, I gotta start moving up. I gotta start trying to get in position to grab the VIP as well as the additional resistance operatives. It's not always something you can do in my experience. Sometimes you literally just can't get to someone because the Lost is coming in at you too hot and heavy, or Advent is there, and sometimes it just makes sense to grab the VIP and make a run for it. In this case, I know a Lost went in there, so I don't necessarily want to head up that way. At the same time, I've always got to be cautious of the fact that, I know there's 2 more Advent that haven't popped up yet, thanks to having paid attention and watched the scene. Alright, so that one croaked out.
Yep, I'm going to have to start moving.
Looks like that one was over visiting with the Advent. Another one down. Fortunately, that purifier actually helped us out a lot as far as the number of loss we had to deal with.
There you go.
And Dragonova taking one down, apparently not enjoying having been wailed on. Unfortunately, we have lost concealment, though I think I do have actually one ability to go back in shadow, but it's a matter of figuring out, is that a good thing to do or not. I've already moved Dragonova back up, but of course there I blocked the the stairway up, so who knows, maybe that's where I should have had her, is over on that side, but I kind of assumed I needed to be able to look more on the right hand side of the building than on the left. But, you just never know. I guess at least not without taking even longer to play a mission than I did here. See, I'm thinking with the pistol, the Between the Eyes perk still works. Which is why, again, you want to bring the... in fact, it has to, yeah. So that's why it's always good to have at least one sharpshooter, if not possibly 2, if you can fit the number of people in you need to. In this case, trying to decide where's a good place to put the guy for now. Sometimes it's just a matter of, least worst. Or at least trying to stay out of direct visual range.
Go after them.
Good Lord, look at that swarm. What's that, like 8, 9? Good golly. There we go. Thank you so much. Those are the upgraded pistols, so those help. But see, there again, now in theory, a bunch of lost could run over there and do unkind things to Dragonova. So at the same time, I do like having the height advantage, being able to, get that extra aim, hopefully get her hitting more. Taking advantage of the headshot mechanic as much as possible. In this case, she can't actually see anybody, so go ahead and put her on Overwatch. But yeah, that is just a lot of lost. And, still got to consider getting into the VIP, as well as possibly the Resistance Operative, so she makes quite the splashy entrance. But at the same time, I know that I've got 2 Advent. There you go. Who apparently were checking out the fish. But yeah, they were on the boat for a while, so I guess they finally moved up. But now that means I've got to move people around, and then I've got to deal with them while trying to save myself from being overrun by Lost, while trying to save the VIP. It certainly makes for a challenging mission for sure. In this case, I'm like, okay, let's see if I can't use her skills and abilities to go ahead and knock off several of these Lost, because fortunately with the lovely Between the Eyes mechanic, even though the pistol only does 3 to 4 damage, see, like, for instance, this one I'd never be able to stop regularly, but that Between the Eyes perk, super handy here. I'm not sure it's not one I keep pretty frequently throughout most games that I've played. So you gotta love that. Just sit there mowing down Lost after Lost after Lost. And then it's time to, hit the thing that's all nice in the open. No guarantee of doing much damage. In this case, I only did the 1, but hey, it's 1. It is an improvement over what was there before. So, yeah, go ahead and try to take this one out. Just because it's a nuisance more than anything. I think also thinking that it's just as likely to come after me as it is to go after them. Go ahead and take this one out and see what we can do. And there again, sometimes it just makes sense to go after the big boy. Yes. See, so that was an actual 6 this time. Did 4 damage. See, now another 4 with the armor could actually take him out. So I think it was totally worth that little pistol shot I threw in earlier in an effort to be able to take that unit down a little sooner. Hey, look, I used the teamwork perk. Yay! So, gave an extra point, and now go ahead and see if we can't take that one out. There we go. So that clears the Lost in this general area for the moment. Go ahead and put him on Overwatch. Hopefully he can do a point or 2 of damage if need be. Given where that Viper is, definitely decided I probably don't want to run my VIP anywhere that direction. So, we're going to go ahead and pop her out that way. And oh, no, go. Scary. I figure, sitting her right next to the Ranger, make it his job to protect her, probably about the best I can do in that situation. Gotta like that. That extra point of pistol Overwatch. Unfortunately, chose to bind a Lost as opposed to come after me in that case, so that worked out well. But then he, of course, immediately takes that sucker down, releasing the bind. The Viper's got to be going like, what happened? But yeah, used that free headshot mechanic and took a shot at my guy. Oh, that looked like it was so close. But there again, that pistol Overwatch that I wouldn't have had, he did manage to do that 3 damage. And here, unfortunately, again, with the damage of this rifle, while she can shoot all day long, especially on the Lost, it's just not doing a lot at this point to take out the enemies with this much health. So again, here 4 to 6. I would need 5, I believe. but you also have to actually hit. Yeah, we need 5. So I think that's why I chose to do lightning hands, or at least look at it. You know, there you go. 1 point of damage, and now I'm down to 4. So a sniper rifle min roll. All I gotta do is actually make contact. There you go. See? Perfect. It was 4 points exactly. All thanks to using the lightning hands, doing that 1 point of net damage. Got me exactly where I need to be as opposed to that thing still standing. So, you know, try to take advantage of things when you can. And unfortunately, that was a miss. Because he easily had the damage on that weapon to pull that off if he had managed to make the shot. So that certainly made that a little harder as far as that goes. But meantime, I've still got to be trying to move the VIP down. I've still got to be trying to protect the VIP as I get closer to the exit. So I'm just trying to move both of these kind of cautiously, stay behind high cover, stay away from the Viper, hopefully stay away from the Lost. That was a nice 3-point hit, but there again, it's just not enough, and then this happens.
Oh no!
And there's that god-awful monstrosity right there. If you dare pause the video, try to see what in the wide world of sports that thing is. Alright, so in the meantime, like, okay. I've got to get Dragonova free because another bind moment, you know, basically if it gets to bind her again, will take that 2 points off of her and she will be dead. So at this point, my absolute priority is making contact with the Viper. 3 to 4 on the pistol, took it down. So again, fortunately managing to heal her is still an option thanks to the fact that I've run this one as a battle medic. But that's definitely something I'm going to want to do pretty soon. Again, knowing there's probably more lost. Not knowing for a fact that we don't have any Advent still running around the area. So, yep, Gremlin heal. So, ended up using both of my heals on Dragonova this time out. But I feel it was well worth it in both cases. Because again, now, if necessary, Dragonova could take another hit from a Lost. Possibly a bind from a Viper. Again, not knowing what I got going on. Of course, obviously, a mech could probably shoot her dead straight up anyway.
Just don't know that it's safe yet. Move you here for now. We may hunker you in a minute.
In the meantime, if you ever played a previous iteration of the newer XCOM versions, that big giant fish hanging over there by the water is quite concerning.
All right, Eric Murphy.
But I'll leave that for those of you in the know. So at this point, like, okay, time to make some distance. Got another one of our potential operatives over there, but don't want to just run straight over there. Got to be careful. Don't want to do anything stupid. I know that the evac point is right over that way, so start getting everybody move that general direction, but do so intelligently. Don't leave anyone wide open. Don't leave anybody too exposed if at all possible. So in this case, I just went ahead and did the hunker down. It's like, oh great, there's lots of loss coming your way. Ah. So at this point, it's definitely a matter of I'm going to try to be out in 2 turns. Because as far as I know, not seeing any more Advent in my general area. Still trying to be careful. But at the same time, I've got to start making some moves. Because unfortunately, it's not a wide open extraction point. So a little pre-planning, a little care as far as who I'm moving where. Still trying to keep some cover. I don't want to just someone standing out in the middle of nowhere where you're suddenly plus 40% to crit flankable. So definitely trying to avoid that where possible. I think that was just like, let's just go. I think because there's no one else I can see around, I felt okay doing that. Maybe not the smartest strategically, but again, it seemed like it was an okay move at the time.
Yep.
And then you see the next Laurel and Hardy.
Oh, lordy, lordy,
That's at least 8. Yeah, it's time to just get out of dodge. That's the important thing here. Just vamonos at max speed to the lovely little blue square. I knew I couldn't get everybody out in this turn. So what I'm trying to do on this turn is get everybody as far up as possible. Do, get them on Overwatch because I know that the Lost are coming. I don't want to sit there and just have people completely and utterly standing there. And this chick wants out of here. Look at that. Look at that. Breaking windows, causing havoc. Like, get me out of this area. Gotta like that. But yeah, so now it's definitely about setting up for the exit. So in this case, move people in, get ready to, do the pistol Overwatch or the regular Overwatch, and just generally be ready to go. I don't want to spend any extra time here, but at the same time, I don't want a situation where I've evac'd a bunch of people and I have 1 or 2 people that can't get out. So this entire situation here is about me getting everybody right up next to the blue, so that next turn, if at all possible, it's time to roll out of there and be done. And yeah, I'm trying to decide here, should I set them there and do the Overwatch, or should I move them further on? Again, I think I'm trying to Overwatch as many people as possible because I know the swarm is coming. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen more often than that. But at the same time, I'm also hoping that they can't get quite that far in order to actually be able to damage me this turn. But yet nobody can hit at all. Very concerning. It's only one of the noobs we picked up that manages to make contact. There we go. Yay. The one that was probably most likely to get way too close. See, look at that. They dashed, but woo, they were close. So in this case, just a matter of let me get everybody into position. Make sure that they get all evac this turn. And then we'll take a couple shots for XP, but beyond that, we're pretty much about done here. Mostly we just want to get the heck out. So just trying to figure out the best possible way to get everybody, because there's only 9 available spaces. I want to make sure I'm using them to the best of my ability and get everybody ready to go. There we go. So now it's just time to take some shots.
Double checking.
Yeah, see, I got everybody in position. So
everybody has the evac icon.
Yep, just checking to make sure they can all go this turn. And in the meantime, let's shoot some stuff. Hopefully get maybe a little extra XP. There we go. And if I screw something up, hopefully there's not any loss close enough to be a problem. But yeah, in this case, this is probably more just about having a little fun and getting out, given that that the primary goal of the mission has been accomplished. So, I think I'm going to like that particular sharpshooter because he seems to be pretty good with a pistol. I need to try to remember to spec him pistolier, but we'll see. Yep, get people out. Yeah, I don't think there's any more lost I can see. Time to be done. Yeehaw, everybody. Well, didn't get out unscathed, but didn't lose anybody. So I got to consider that a successful mission. They call it excellent. Good Lord, 45 enemies killed. Yeah, in 16 turns, I probably could have done it in a lot less, but at the same time, I wanted to be extra cautious. I wanted to take extra time. Just very important not to go too wild there. Given, clearly that many enemies, As it was, poor Dragonova got the ever-loving crap beat out of her. She got hit, once by a lost and bound once, and if I hadn't have used my heal on her the first time, she'd have been toast. So, again, I know you can usually heal up to 4 points with a single heal, but given that her health is only 5 to begin with, and it's pretty easy for 2 lost to get up next to her and all of a sudden take 2 swipes, and now she's down at least 4. So I felt it was very important to keep her above, 4 or better at all times. In this case, I just felt it's what I had to do. And as it turned out, it was the right thing to do. But I certainly don't want to lose one of the faction soldiers, because they're a lot harder to get. To me, they have a little more value. Look at all those promotions. 19 kills, 16 kills, 23 kills, 15 kills. And a lot of those came on this mission, given that we killed 45 things. So, in this case, now we have 2 extras, so suddenly he'd have 4 charges, so he could have healed Dragonova twice and 2 other people. I think that's totally worth having. So, definitely went ahead and spec'd him for field medic. He's been battle medic all along, so I felt that was the right thing to do. Even though I'm explaining it in detail, apparently. Now, scanning protocol is handy if you're combining with a sharpshooter who's spec'd as sniper, because that way you can get that squad sight on a much larger range. Alright, yes, poor Dragonova. Alright, so we know what remote start is. Yeah. There we go, that's the one. Now, if she'd have had target definition, then both of those advent units, the Reaper and the Mech, when they went into the container before they came out the other side, would have always stayed visible. Again, pretty handy if you have a good sniper trained, someone who can take advantage of that squad sight. And there again, but here I really had to go for the Shredder because, being able to take off one of those 2 points of armor would have helped take down those mechs a little faster. So I definitely felt this one was super worth it.
Yes, please. I will borrow. Yep, 11 ability points. She has 7.
And she had plenty of points on her own. So now at this point, because you got 22 total points you could spend. There wasn't anything I felt that was an absolute must at this point. So.
All right, Houseman.
And then here,
all right,
trying to figure out which way to go with him. Because, you don't want everybody trained the same way.
So I think let's just go ahead and go for that.
So in this case, went with Phantom. That would keep him concealed. Again, very useful when pairing with a nice sniper.
All right, so.
Which I'm training her as. So, we already trained her in Long Watch. Going to add in Deadeye. While her pistol use is quite impressive, it's not the direction I've chosen to go with her at this point. Elizabeth Blackjack Davis. I definitely want making better use of the sniper rifle itself, and hopefully making lots of good long shots like the one she missed against that lost across the pond there, her little fountain area.
All right.
Yeah, so that was a heck of a ride, kids. So let's see, did I remember to train him up as a gunslinger? Yay, I did. All right, good. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was useful. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you had a good time. The only method of support I have at this point is if you follow one of the links below and do some shopping on Amazon. So thank you for joining me. Please like, subscribe. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hope you had a good time. So let's see. I believe the send-off is Seek High Cover, Shoot Straight, Happy Gaming. Thank you.